Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV, another game of interplanetary ice icon here, back on Mars, back in Gale Crater, looking at Mount Sharp. But today, instead of looking at the usual Curiosity Rover images, we're looking at the Chemcam. And this is the page you want. This is Sol 1521, okay? Sol 1521. And when you look on the main page here, I'll give you a link to this anyway, as I always do. You go to the Chemcam, which is this one. And we want 1521, there's 24 images. Okay, the Chemcam is pretty cool. Now, this is usually used to take close-ups of the ground and the various pebbles and sand detailed, rock details up really close to the rover. But occasionally, they point it at Mount Sharp in the distance, miles away, and zoom right in, and we get some nice high quality images of Mount Sharp. Now you've got the unprocessed ones here at the top, and they've already given you enhanced versions of these at the bottom, okay? These are good images. And the ones we want to look at are these four, 1, 2, 3 and 4, okay? Blatantly not just the ground in front of you, but the mountain in the background. Right, so without further ado, I'll show you them in the folder. And let me show you the raw one first. Now this is the one that is the one to look at, okay? Up here we have some very odd looking dome structures, and we have this long structure here with a very upright part to it here which looks artificial, okay? Now I appreciate this is a bit vague, but obviously adding contrast to the image can improve that, okay? So I'll show you I made a mini gigapan of this. I got the 4 images and I stitched them together, which is actually not that easy. So you've got people out there like Neville Thompson who makes these gigapans all the time. How he does it so well, I really don't know, because when I do it, I get all these lines coming through and stuff like that. Now, I'll show you it here. I've already got it up here. This has been enlarged. I've obviously stitched the images together, as you can see. You can see these lines going through. And I've added a colour filter to it just to make it look more like a colour image, even though it's monochrome, okay? And there are 2 areas of interest mainly in these images. The one I just showed you here, just this area, okay? And over to the left, there's this one, just here. Now that may look fairly normal to you, but once you enhance the contrast, you'll start to see stuff in here as well that makes it pretty obvious that these are not just random eroded rock structures, okay? Wind and water eroded. These are, or these look like intelligent structures. Okay, so I'm going to show you some clips. First of all, we'll have a look at over to the left at this part, okay? Now, this just looks like a huge kind of dome-shaped mound here, and there's this rather odd thing sticking up here, okay? Now, this is not a raw image. This has been color filtered. Okay, it's been color filtered, but nothing else done to it. Okay, I've just added a color filter. Now I'm going to flick through and show you this thing here. Okay, keep your eye on this dome, this smaller dome. As you increase the contrast, this structure appears. Now, this doesn't look like a normal eroded rock. This looks like an intelligent structure, some kind of building or dome-like structure, and there seems to be something interesting, like a ramp coming down here in front of it, okay? So that was interesting, and I don't know if it gets any more clear than that, because that was the basic enhancements. As usual, I'll put these clips in at the end for you to have a longer look at, okay? So at the end of the video, all these close-ups will be in there. And there is also this, okay? I'm going to flip through these now. This area here. Now this here is a building. Just here. And possibly here, and possibly here as well. Now, these are miles away and do look a bit vague, but it's obvious to me, like you can see here, that this is not a random structure, okay? I'm going to flip through the enhancements. I've added lots of contrast here. Okay, here's a close-up. Now you can start to see that there's another square structure here, and there's another structure here and here. You can see that a bit clearer now because I've enhanced the contrast even more. And again, and here's the close-up. Now pay attention to this area here, okay? As I add the enhancements, I've really gone in dark there. Now you can start to see there's a building here that comes to here with a right angle corner to it. This has a right angle and a straight edge to it. So there's a very bright structure here, catching the light. And on the end we have a block structure with some structures in front of it, okay? Pay attention to these little things here, okay? I appreciate these are a bit vague. They're a long way off, and the camera isn't really fully focused on the area, to be honest. It's kind of a bit blurry, but they're pretty clear, even so. And you can see like a little tower thing sticking up just there, okay? And you've got what look like windows and a square structure here, and something here, another square structure. Now getting in too close doesn't help, so if we pull back a bit, I've done an even harder enhancement there. And I've added a blue filter to it on top of it just to pull out some of these shapes. And now you can see that that is a building, okay? That's a building, that's a building, there's another structure there, there's one here in front, there's a little tower thing here, and there's a square thing there, okay? So there we have it. That was about it for this one, really. I mean, let me show you the overall image again, and hopefully it will load up. I'll upload the ping because that won't take so long because the bitmap is really large. So it's only 4 images. You don't have to stitch them together like I've done. You just need the one on the right and the one on the left really to see what's going on here. So we have that dome, interesting little dome structure there. And we also have this here, okay? With buildings here as well. So there will be close-ups coming up in a minute. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon.